American confidence in retirement reaches near all-time high. What? This can't be because we have a retirement crisis. How can it be near an all-time high in Americans' confidence in retirement? So let's jump into here. So I came across this from EBRI, the Employee Benefit Research Institute, which I'm a huge fan of, by the way. They do great work. And this retirement confidence survey. The RCS gauges the views and attitudes of working age and retired Americans regarding retirement, their preparations for retirement, their confidence with regard to various aspects of retirement and related issues. The RCS is the longest running survey of its kind and is conducted annually by the EBRI, these guys, and the independent research firm Greenwald and Associates. I don't know who Greenwald and Associates is. It was a big Clinton advisor, Mandy Greenwald. I wonder if she's part of that back in the day, because a lot of these guys who go from politics, they go to research slash Gallup kind of firms, sampling firms, and whatnot. I wonder if that's part. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Because a lot of these guys do that. They go from the politics to political firms where they're doing surveys and things of that nature. I just wonder. Anyway, the 2009 survey of 2,000 Americans was conducted online January 8th through January 23rd. All respondents were 25 and older. Survey included 1,000 workers and 1,000 retirees. The survey also included an oversample of 307 Gen X workers. I think that's me, Gen X. Okay. Data from the RCS are available for partners. More information here. So let's see the press release. This is interesting here. For media release, Betsy Jaff from the EBRI. Let's see, Dateline April 23rd. That's sweet. The RCS finds 82% of retirees are confident in their ability to live comfortably throughout retirement. Up 75% last year and comparable to highs measured in 2005 and 17. 82% of retirees are confident in their ability to live comfortably throughout retirement. Let me say that a third time. 82% of retirees are confident in their ability to live comfortably throughout retirement. Furthermore, the percentage of workers who say they are very confident in their ability to live comfortably throughout retirement reached 23%, up from 17% last year, and now reflecting levels measured more consistently in the late 90s and early 2000s. Now in its 29th year, the annual RCS is the longest running survey. We already talked about that. This year, retirees are also much more likely than last to be confident in their ability to afford the lifestyle they're accustomed to. 77% of those polled, of retirees, and again, was it 1,000 retirees they polled and 1,000 workers? 8 in 10 retirees indicate they're very or somewhat confident they'll have enough money to take care of medical expenses, compared with 70% in 2018. And retirees are less likely than last year to say their overall expenses, healthcare expenses, long-term expenses, are higher than they expected. Retirees, again, these people who are retired, who are dealing with these costs, are less likely than last year to say their overall expenses are higher than expected. The RCS finds that 2/3 of American workers feel confident in their ability to retire comfortably, with 23% feeling very confident. This reflects a 6 percentage point increase in workers who feel confident over 2018, again, comparable to highs last seen in 1997 and 2006. And again in 2015-16, so don't go saying it's because Obama's not president. No. I mean, look, it's 2015 and 16, pre-retirees pre-retirees were just as confident. So I don't want to hear politics, not because of Trump or comes to Obama. I imagine there's something to do a little bit with that, but you can't say you just stop putting all this stuff on the president. It's just the idea the president has all this skill or authority or ability to do things. I used to hate it when they say Reagan created 20 million jobs. I hated that. Reagan didn't create a job. He might have created a more favorable environment for economic boom time, but Reagan himself did not create a job. It didn't ever happen. I hate it when I hear that. I hate it. I can't stand it. Obama didn't. In fact, I was just reading the other day where Obama said, I thought I would have hundreds, thousands, millions, whatever, shovel-ready jobs. Turns out it didn't. And it wasn't because Obama lied or anything like that. It's simply because the government moves slowly on purpose. We don't want Obama or Reagan or Trump as an executive order to say, I'm creating government shovel-ready jobs. That's flipping scary. We don't want that to happen. It's got to take the time to go through the various realms of the D.C., the federal government, all the way down to the states. Obama can't just snap his fingers. And I give him credit for saying that. I mean, because he said, look, yeah, it didn't happen as quickly as I thought. Because nothing happens quickly. He didn't say nothing happens quickly, but that's what his implying was. He didn't have the authority he thought he did. Same with Trump, too. Same with Reagan. Same with Clinton. It doesn't matter. Bipartisan. It's got to go through all these different things. The bureaucracy is what derails things, for sure. So even if Obama had it going on, what I didn't think he did, but even if he did, it still wouldn't happen overnight because you have all these bureaucrats and their little tiny fiefdoms that got to control things. But anyway, all right, so retirement confidence continues to be closely related to having a retirement plan. Interesting. Workers reporting they or their spouse have money in a defined contribution plan or IRA or have benefits in a defined benefit plan are nearly twice as likely to be somewhat confident about retirement, 74% with a plan versus 39% without a plan. So they're talking a retirement plan means a 401k or 403b or a defined benefit plan. They're not talking about, hey, I got a retirement plan for my old buddy Josh. While 72% of workers are very confident or about being able to afford basic expenses in retirement, 41% are not confident about their ability to cover medical expenses. I wonder why that is. And nearly half do not feel confident about having enough money for long-term care in retirement. What could possibly be the cause of that? Oh, there's Fidelity. So what are they telling us to do? Save more. Imagine that. Workers are also more likely to cite debt as a concern compared with retirees. Exactly. 61% of workers say debt is a problem for them compared with 26% of retirees. Historically, the RCS has found a correlation between debt levels and retirement confidence. That should not shock anybody. In 2019, 41% of workers with a major debt problem said they are very or somewhat confident about having enough money to live comfortably in retirement, compared with 85% of workers who indicate debt is not a problem. If I could say one thing and one thing only, debt is the enemy. Seems like I said that. Oh, I did. Chapter 1 in my very first book. You ready? Let's see what it says. I'm going to show you. Chapter 1, debt is the enemy. And look right here. Twice as many people are confident in their ability to retire, almost 100%. 85% of the people who have no debt are confident in their ability to retire in retirement versus less than half if they have debt. You got to get out of it, man. If I don't care about the spreadsheets, about I need a mortgage, I don't care. Your confidence level and your ability to retire and quit your crappy old job and get out of the corporate grind is going to come down to one thing and one thing only. Do you have debt? Let's see. 32% of workers with a major debt problem are not at all confident about their prospects for a financially secure retirement, compared with 5%. There you go, 5% of people without a debt problem. Asked to identify their guiding principles for managing finances in retirement, income stability versus preserving principal and wealth, a majority of both retirees and workers said income stability, ensuring a set amount of income for life. That's their guiding principle, income stability, not preserving wealth. So income stability. Interesting. What could play a big role in that? Social Security. Not, I got to take a lump sum and invest it in. No. Social Security and pensions, right there, annuities, income annuities, those kind of things. Income security. We're going to secure your income, and that way you don't have to worry so much. We're not preserving principal and wealth. That's fine, but that's not the primary concern. While more than 4 out of 5 retirees and workers indicate that Social Security is or will be a source of retirement income, differences emerge in the income sources and the stability of those sources. 8 in 10 workers, for example, expect income from a workplace retirement savings plan separate from a pension plan. Well, just half of retirees report this as a source of income. Also notable, half of workers suggest that they expect a product that guarantees income for life, such as annuity, will be a source of income for them, whereas only a third of retirees receive income from this. So that's interesting. It shows you the income annuity academics have actually done a good job in moving the needle to a more favorable look at income annuities for sure. And I guarantee that one of the reasons only a third of retirees have one because they've heard so many bad things. I hate annuities. I find this actually interesting. 8 in 10 workers, for example, just half of the retirees report income from a workplace retirement plan is a source of income. Just half. And yet all these people, for the most part, by and large, are very comfortable in their ability to make ends meet as a state because they have the highest confidence they've ever had. Huh. So how could it possibly be that you can't retire on Social Security? I think this proves that you can't because we have half of the people basically say they don't have income from another source. It's primarily Social Security. And 80% of retirees, I think they said 80%, are very comfortable in their current lifestyle. Very comfortable. So, I mean, those two things, they're not mutually exclusive. They're not. They're just not. So you just can't say, oh, you can't retire on Social Security and be comfortable. And yet we see absolute evidence in this survey, at least. The most pronounced gap in retiree experience and worker expectation for retirement income sources remains Lisa Greenwald. Okay, I don't know who that is. I've never heard of Greenwald and Associates. But in the political realm, pretty familiar with all these various polling firms and whatnot. So anyway, it's just interesting to me. I always like to know where's this coming from. There's a guy, a big Democrat polling firm. Is it Stu Rothenberg? I can't remember. But anyway, anytime they poll, it's coming from the left. And I always got to say, okay, let's just see what they're saying. So they'll poll, and it always got to wonder the polling mechanism. Are they trying to go down the middle? Are they trying to shoot for one kind of, because it's the way you word the questions, actually. And if they word the questions one way, you'll get a result. If they word the questions another way, you'll get a completely different result. Immigration is a perfect example of that. The most important pronounced gap in retiree experience and worker expectation for retirement income remains working for pay in retirement. 3/4 of workers believe work for pay will be a source of income in retirement, and only 1/4 of retirees actually receive income from work. So 25% of retirees actually receive income from work when they're retired. 50% of them have no retirement plan from work, and yet 80% of current retirees are very comfortable in their current lifestyle, and they're able to make ends meet just fine with what they expected or what they were living on before. Let's see. It is risky for workers to assume they'll be able to work in retirement when for so many retirees this has not been the case. I understand there's a strong desire for income stability, but for many, continuing to receive a regular paycheck may not be the solution. Maybe. The RCS continues to identify a lack of alignment between workers' expectations about their age of retirement and prospects for work in retirement compared with the retiree experience. Workers continue to report an expected median retirement age of 65%, while retirees report they retired at a median age of 62. Which means that's why they took retirement early, Social Security early. The survey has consistently found that 43% of retirees leave the workforce earlier than planned, with 35% citing illness or disability as a reason, and 35% retiring to changes at the company. And with keeping up with the income expectations, 80% of workers expect to work to pay for pay in retirement, while only 28% of workers actually do this. So that's pretty interesting. Again, they surveyed 1,000 workers, 1,000 retirees, an oversample of Gen Xers, my data set, weighted by age, gender, and education, the margin of error of 3.1%. So it's pretty statistically significant for sure. Greenwald Associates is a leading full-service market research firm specializing in retirement, employee benefits, and healthcare research. I got to look at these guys. Let's go to Greenwald Research real quick and see what we come up with. The survey is underwritten by Vanguard, some other firms too. Financial services. I just want to see it. Say about. I'll never forget. Mandy Greenwald was all over the Clintons for the Clintons back in the '90s, and I can't remember what happened to her. Founded in 1985. Okay, so this is not them for sure. Pretty interesting nonetheless, though. So at the end of the day, and this going back, I found this through my Savvy Social Security planning. It's the thing I use. American Confidence Retirement Rises. So that's good stuff, my friends. Stuff like that gets me fired up. You don't have to get fired up by it, but I do. I think it just goes to reconfirm this idea we're in a retirement crisis. How can we possibly be when we have 10,000 people retiring every day and we don't have vast majorities of paupers out there? We just don't. We don't see it. A lot to be confident of. You don't need to move to Thailand or Philippines. You can stay right here in the good old US of A. All right, we'll see you.